So I am doing a recording for the gender tag developed by Ashley Wild. There's 10 questions. We'll see what I do with this afterwards. 1. How do you self-identify your gender, and what does that definition mean to you? I identify as agender, which means that I am not a boy and I'm not a girl and I'm not a third gender. I just don't have a gender. What pronouns honor you? She, her, and hers. Just because I've grown up with those and I'm comfortable with them, I don't feel any need to change them. 3. Describe the style of clothing you most often wear. Yoga pants with pockets and T-Fury men's large shirts. Yeah, a bit specific. 4. Talk about your choices with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? What do you choose to shave or choose not to shave? The only thing I shave is my head. Number 3, which is 3/8 of an inch, as often as I can get away with it, which is not really all that often lately. 5. Talk about cosmetics. Do you choose to wear makeup? Do you paint your nails? What types of soaps and perfumes do you use, if any? I do not wear makeup. I do not like it. I occasionally will play around with it, just to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything that I might possibly enjoy. I don't ever paint my nails because I bite them. Soap. Soaps and body wash and that kind of a thing, I tend to use food-scented things. Coconut, chocolate, tangerine, milk and honey, vanilla. Yeah, it's all food-scented things. And I smell yummy and I really like it. I don't wear any perfumes though, and I don't feel like I have a particular personal scent aside from my laundry soap, so I tend to also use vanilla laundry stuff so that I smell like food. 6. Have you experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? I thought about this and I actually have been misgendered a lot. I spent a little bit of time, a long time ago, on chat roulette, and I was mistaken for a guy all the time. I'm very uncomfortable with that because I consider myself closer to female than male, but still agender, and that's recent. Do you experience dysphoria? How does that affect you? I thought about this really hard, and I actually do experience dysphoria, which was a surprise to me. I am dysphoric about my voice. I don't enjoy it. I think it should be a lot deeper. I'm dysphoric about having so much boob, and I'm just not sex dysphoric, but body dysphoric about how much fat I have. It really bothers me. Altogether, oh, and yeah, it would be kind of nice, just to add a dick. Not that it had to be functional all the time, just, dick. Considering I don't have one. Talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child if that were an option for you? Do you want to be the primary caretaker for any children you might have? I am so not interested in having a child. like carrying a child or birthing a child. Like that whole thing, just no. I have thought about having children, and I would be a lot more interested in adopting or fostering. But I would totally be willing to, like, include children if they came with partners. Because I want to have a slightly unusual family. Because I'm interested in poly or, like, group living sort of environments. So a family would be very different, and so if somebody else wanted kids, like, I'd be totally open to that, as long as I'm not a primary caregiver. I would be happy to actually, like, provide for or help provide for a family. I just wouldn't want to have to take care of them. Number 9. Talk about money. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially if you choose to have one? Is it important to you that you earn more than any partner you may have? Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you? Yes. I am uncomfortable when other people offer to pay for me. I would want to provide for a family financially, but not by myself. Like, I want to be a part of, like, a pair or a group providing for family. But I do want to be, like, the primary, what's it called? The primary earner. I would love to earn more than, like, all my partners. Any of my partners. That'd be really nice. I prefer not to pay for things like dates, but not to have the other person do it either. I prefer to split everything equally, which is actually something that one of my previous partners really, really didn't like, which was kind of funny. I would be like, I'll pay half of this and half of this, and he's like, well, why don't I get this and you get this? I'm like, no, I'll pay half of this and half of this. So it also might be a little bit just my personality showing through, but I think it does relate to my gender. Anything else you want to share about your experience with gender? Kind of. My mum really doesn't get it. My little sister does, which is such a blessing, and I love her to bits, but it's interesting being, well, genderqueer or non-binary, and trying to explain that to somebody who's very fundamental and old-fashioned. So I think it's especially a challenge trying to have somebody understand it when it's not something they're used to. Like the idea of being gay, somebody gets. It's like, oh, girls like girls, boys like boys. But when you're genderqueer, like, you also have to find out, like, what is your sexuality. It's not straight, it's not gay, because those are kind of tied to the gender that you consider yourself and the gender that the other person considers themselves. So I have come up with help with the word polysexual, which has a lot to do with my gender. Like, I could kill myself. I could consider or call myself something else if I was differently gendered, but I'm not. So, genderqueer, non-binary, agender, and polysexual. Not because I'm attracted to multiple people at the same time, but because I'm attracted to multiple specific genders and facets of that gender. Feel free to message me personally if you have any, like, intense questions about that. But yeah, it's interesting, like, because of my gender, that changes my sexuality. That's all. I think that's everything. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.